Hi everyone, and welcome to another marvelous video. When it comes to the world of comics, Jack Kirby is one of the most prominent names, known for creating a plethora of including the New Gods. Although characters like Iron Man, Captain America, etc. were created in collaboration with other writers, the New Gods were solely his creation. He introduced the fourth world concept in DC, signifying a world outside the multiverse. The New Gods were quite similar to the Eternals from Marvel Comics, which was also created by Jack Kirby. Both were deity-like characters existing in their own world and often making interactions with mortals. It was back in 1971 when Jack left Marvel to work for DC after completing Eternals. The New Gods were powerful beings including Darkseid, who was physically equivalent to Superman, except when the Man-of-Steel is consumed by rage. The Highfather is also one of the strongest, but is known for choosing a life of a pacifist. There are several other New Gods, and in today's video, we will be exploring all of them. So, without any further delay, let us begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, let's begin. The origin of the New Gods. The New Gods were residents of the planets New Genesis and Apocalypse, which were outside normal space and time and placed at opposite ends. This realm is called the Fourth World. A primeval energy known as the Source is believed to be the ultimate foundation of their universal expression of energy and their superior technology. Using these, the beings have obtained their perfect genetic stability and evolution. The beings of the New Genesis resemble Homo sapiens but are stronger, faster, and smarter than them, while for the denizens of Apocalypse, there are many inferior to humans, with a few beings stronger than them. The origin of the New Gods was explained in Jack Kirby's New Gods Issue 1, published in March 1971. Billions of years ago, God World, or Orgrand, existed where divine beings known as Old Gods lived. These Old Gods later went to a war with each other, which resulted in the release of an exorbitant amount of power, destroying Orgrand. The planet broke into two fragments, which eventually cooled after ages, becoming the planets of New Genesis and Apocalypse. Over a period of time, new life evolved on these planets and thus stabilized on existing as two worlds fulfilling different destinies. Apocalypse was a place of tyranny and evil, while New Genesis existed as a world of peace and beauty. Following the epilogue, the issue introduced Orion, a new god, on his way to New Genesis. The Highfather, the ruler of New Genesis, summoned him. Orion is soon joined by another new god, going by the name of Light Ray, and they both visited Highfather. Light Ray left Orion with the Highfather, who then took him to the Chamber of the Source and met another new god, Metron, who had also been summoned. It was then revealed that the two were gathered by Highfather's wondrous staff, which in turn was from the Source, and he wanted the two to visit the wall. However, Orion chose not to abide by the instructions and left New Genesis with a message on Highfather's wall. Orion to Apocalypse, then to Earth, then to war. Orion made his way to Apocalypse, and as he arrived, he witnessed the planet's bizarre, ugly constructions and machinery. Unlike New Genesis, the place was in a complete mess, where individuals with power subjugated the weak. Orion was soon attacked by a horde of parademons, overwhelming him, but he defeated them and infiltrated Darkseid's inner sanctum. Upon arriving, he learned that Darkseid, the new god and ruler of Apocalypse, was absent. He fought and defeated every soldier of Darkseid's cavalry, but was highly disappointed upon not finding Darkseid or his elite warriors. Orion arrived at the Mass Director unit, tasked to keep order during Darkseid's absence, and met Kalibak, Darkseid's son and a new god. As Kalibak charged towards Orion, a mysterious energy stopped him, and it was none other than from Metron. Orion was not pleased, but Metron stated that he had the power to be anywhere he wanted, and at present, he was there to help Orion fulfill his destiny. Consumed by rage, Orion wished to combat Kalibak, but Metron stopped him, explaining the greater danger. Darkseid and his forces were on Earth to scan its inhabitants of the anti-life equation, which could subjugate all beings to his will. Metron showed the chamber where many humans were captured and scanned for the anti-life equation. As Orion rescued the humans, Metron left, and Kalibak was free from the energy shield. Kalibak attacked Orion with his nerve beam, which the latter survived and countered with his Astra power. The blow was enough to stun Kalibak, and Orion wasted no time in using the opportunity to leave with the humans for Earth via a boom tube. Orion and the humans arrived on Earth, and soon Darkseid's presence was felt. Orion, in rage, called out for Darkseid, stating that it was the time for their battle to begin. The greatest battle ever fought by the New Gods. As mentioned before, New Genesis and Apocalypse were the exact opposite. While one stood for peace and harmony, the other thrived on tyranny and evil. Eventually, this led to conflicts between the two planets, and they had their fiercest battles. However, when we talk about the greatest of all battles between New Genesis and Apocalypse, it comes down to the one where Darkseid's uncle, Steppenwolf, killed Highfather Isaiah's wife, Evia. The story was depicted in New Gods issue 7, published in March 1972. The issue begins with Isaiah and his wife Evia sharing a loving moment. Evia states that she had never heard Isaiah sing for her, and most of the times she heard him shout was during the war. However, their peaceful moment was soon interrupted by Darkseid and his uncle Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf sneak attacked on Isaiah and grabbed his wondrous staff. As Steppenwolf and Isaiah fought, Darkseid kept warning about the might of Isaiah. Steppenwolf's demon troopers joined the fight and tried their best to take down Isaiah, but the latter managed to hold his ground and give them a tough fight. However, Evia arrived to help Isaiah, and just before Steppenwolf was about to deliver his fatal radiant bolt, Evia came in between and met her demise. In fear that the Highfather would avenge the death of his wife, Darkseid shot Isaiah in the face with his killer gloves. Isaiah was seemingly dead, following which Darkseid, Steppenwolf, and the demon troopers left. However, Isaiah was alive, and he declared war on Apocalypse. Soon the forces of New Genesis attacked Apocalypse and inflicted catastrophic damages. Metron created boom tubes for Darkseid in exchange for the X-element that could power his Mobius chair, and the latter used it to transport his troops to New Genesis. Steppenwolf arrived on New Genesis and began his attack ruthlessly before Isaiah appeared in front of him. He took down every single member of his troop and came face to face with the murder of his wife. There was not much of a fight this time, as Isaiah obliterated Steppenwolf quickly. However, the battle was far from over as Darkseid arrived and began attacking New Genesis with a deadly rain of planetoids, making it a complete techno-cosmic war. The god machines grew larger in size and continued firing heavenly bodies from space. Isaiah realized that the war would eventually destroy both planets, which was what Darkseid wanted. Giving up to rage and war was not his path nor his destiny. So to end the war and save New Genesis, Isaiah dropped his armor and staff. He could be seen traveling towards the wall, where upon arriving, he noticed a fiery handwriting 2 words on the wall: the Source. Soon the war ended with a pact between the two sides. Both Darkseid and Highfather would exchange their sons to seal the peace treaty between the two planets, which would prevail until their children remained on their respective planets. As a result, Orion, Darkseid's son born from Tigra, was sent to New Genesis, while Isaiah's son was sent to Apocalypse. Young Orion approached Isaiah with a knife, but when he offered his open hand, Orion dropped the knife and went along with him. However, when Darkseid handed over Isaiah's son to Granny Goodness, she promised to torment the boy to such a degree that he would escape from the planet, violating the pact between the two worlds. How many New Gods are there in DC? The New Gods resided in Apocalypse and New Genesis, and over the years, DC Comics have introduced many of them. To start with, we have number 1, Yuga Khan, Darkseid's father and original ruler of Apocalypse before Darkseid. He was considered the strongest New God on Apocalypse. Number 2, Hagra. Queen Hagra was Darkseid's mother and Yuga Khan's wife. Queen Hagra gave birth to 2 children, Darkseid and Drax. She despised Drax for his growing benevolent nature and supported his tyrannical son Darkseid. At some point, Darkseid was growing soft after falling in love with an Apocalyptian sorceress named Sully, following which Hagra poisoned her and killed her. Number 3, Darkseid. Darkseid was the successor of Yuga Khan, who ruled Apocalypse. He was an immensely powerful new god and possessed the Omega effect. Number 4. Kalibak. Kalibak was the son of Darkseid born from his love, Seelie. Kalibak was known for his physical strength but has been taken down and defeated by several characters in the DC universe. Number 5. Graven. During one of Darkseid's many conquests of planets, an unknown woman was impregnated by him, resulting in the birth of Graven. Graven was a strong new god with only one objective: killing Darkseid and destroying Apocalypse. Number 6. Desaad. Desaad was Darkseid's torturer, but unlike the rest, he was originally born in New Genesis. His mind was corrupted by Darkseid, who made him believe that his cat had eaten his bird. In a fit of rage, he buried the cat alive, and later when the bird arrived, he killed the bird as well. Number 7. Agog. Agog was an ape-like warrior for Darkseid. He was seen when Darkseid tasked him to capture the human named Alice Ames, who possessed the anti-life equation. Number 8. Kanto. Kanto was one of the elite warriors of Darkseid and was known to be the master assassin on Apocalypse. Number 9. Veerman Wunderbar. Veerman was an orphan who was brought to be trained by Granny Goodness on Apocalypse. Number 10. Dr. Bedlam. Although not much is known about the origin of Dr. Bedlam, he was a resident of Apocalypse and a new god. At some point, he gave up his physical form and existed solely as an energy that could manifest other beings at will. Number 11. Granny Goodness. Granny Goodness was a resident of Apocalypse who was tasked to train and mind-wash other beings and make them serve Darkseid. She had created the Female Furies. Number 12. Female Furies. The Female Furies were a team of female warriors serving Darkseid. The team was created by Granny Goodness and led by Big Barda. Number 13. Mantis. Mantis was the ruler of bugs from New Genesis. At some point, he arrived on Apocalypse where Darkseid bestowed powers on him. Number 14. High Father. As mentioned earlier, High Father Isaiah was the ruler of New Genesis and an extremely powerful new god. Number 15. Orion. Orion was the son of Darkseid, born from Tigra. He was sent to New Genesis in order to stop the catastrophic war between New Genesis and Apocalypse. Orion eventually came to be known as the fiercest warrior of the Fourth Wall. Throughout his life, Orion faced difficulties controlling his rage, which he inherited from his father. Number 16. Lightray. Lightray was a powerful new god from New Genesis and was known for his fun-loving nature. He was a friend of Orion. Number 17. Mr. Miracle. Isaiah's son, sent to Apocalypse, was named Scott Free and eventually took on the title of Mr. Miracle. Scott possessed a unique talent for escaping, which he used to escape from Apocalypse. Number 18. Big Barda. Big Barda was the leader of the Female Furies until she joined hands with the Scott and escaped from Apocalypse. Number 19. Hyman. Hyman was a scientist from New Genesis. He was an inventor and was the creator of the Mother Boxes. During his stay on Apocalypse, he formed a group of revolters to oppose Darkseid and his forces. He was also the one who trained Scott to escape Apocalypse. Number 20. Metron. Metron was a new god who believed his sole purpose was to acquire knowledge. He preserved a neutral stand between Apocalypse and New Genesis. Number 21. The Forever People. They were residents of New Genesis who graduated from the Academy of Higher Conscience. The Forever People included Mark Moonrider, Dreamer Beautiful, Wykin, and Seraphina. Together, they could summon the superhero known as the Infinity Men. Number 22. Tachyon. Tachyon was the avatar of the light side of the Source and one of the greatest manipulators. He could move so fast, and he is considered to be everywhere at the same time. This was the gift of omnipresence bestowed on him by the Source.
Zeus and his son Ares alongside the guardians from the sky.
New Gods' appearance in other media. Originating from the comics, the New Gods made their appearances in various other forms of media. They were there in the Superman animated series, and also in other animated films. In the live-action films, we saw Steppenwolf in 2017's Justice League, followed by Darkseid in the Snyder Cut version. In both movies, the New Gods from Apocalypse have been shown to express their interest in the anti-life equation present on Earth. However, even before Justice League, the New God were emphasized in 2016's Dawn of Justice, which was later backed by a deleted scene and included in the Ultimate Edition extended cut. In this scene, Lex Luthor could be seen communicating with Steppenwolf via alien technology obtained from the Kryptonian scout ship. From 2018 to 2021, a live-action film based on the New Gods was in progress. The film would have showcased the female Furies and Big Barda as well. The first draft of the script was written by Carius Selim and later by DuVernay and Tom King, with Ava DuVernay directing it. However, after Darkseid was revealed in Snyder's cut, the studio stopped progress on the movie and cancelled it. The New Gods also made numerous appearances in animated TV shows. Darkseid, Kalibak, and Desaad were showcased in the final two incarnations of the Super Friends animated series titled Super Friends, the legendary superpowers show, and the Superpowers team Galactic Guardians. Although Orion and Mr. Miracle were seen, New Genesis was not mentioned. However, later in the Superman animated series, the concepts of the Fourth World and New Gods were explained. New Gods, mostly Darkseid, his elite soldiers, and parademons, later appeared in Justice League Animated, Batman Brave, and The Bold. In the final season of Smallville, Darkseid, Granny Goodness, Desaad, and Godfrey were mentioned. In the Young Justice episode 17, titled Disordered, New Genesis, Apocalypse, and the Forever People were mentioned along. Since then, many of the New Gods kept making their appearances in subsequent animated shows. How powerful are they? The New Gods are divine beings with immense power. The extent of their might is often enhanced owing to their proximity to the primeval energy of the Source. The Source was believed to be the foundation of the universal expression of energy, perfect genetic stability, and their superior technology. The New Gods were immortal and ceased aging after the physical age of 30. Some of them are invulnerable to most physical attacks, and all possess super strength, stamina, speed, and reflexes. They are believed to be immune to all forms of diseases, but at some point, we saw the New Gods succumbing to the infection of the corrupted anti-life equation in the Deceased saga. Some of the New Gods possessed superpowers like Darkseid and his Omega effect, and Highfather with his Alpha effect. However, a substance known as Radiant was the weakness of all gods, and an average god could be slain with weapons manifesting on their substance. As mentioned before, Isaiah's wife was taken down by the bolt of radiant shot by Steppenwolf. Marvelous verdict. So, we have finally come to the end of our video, and we hope you have liked our content. The adventures associated with the New Gods of New Genesis and Apocalypse in the comics are scintillating. When Darkseid laid his eyes on Earth and its inhabitants, many of the New Gods from New Genesis defended Earth and fought alongside the Justice League. Following the visuals of Darkseid and Steppenwolf from the Justice League movie, it is needless to explain the magnitude of the excitement of fans if the live-action film on the same could be released. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.